Hey guys, what's up? It's going to be a really short video. So today I'm showing you guys the top is Jailbreak tweaks for iOS 11 up to iOS 16. So the first tweak is called Unc0ver by Brendan, by me. No, I'm kidding. This is like the only developer I actually know that his name is spelled exactly the same way mine is. So pretty cool. He's also a pretty cool developer. He did make ACC demo, which I'll just throw that in this video to show you guys. It's an amazing tweak, one of my favorites. So Unc0ver by Brendan. This is a volume control for individual apps, which is really, really cool. So right here you have the in this version. I do wanna So right here you guys can see this new update version 0.0.6 beta 1. It added support beta for YouTube. Add control center module. Add shows on lock screen option. Add transparent background option. Restore user interaction immediately. And there's one more after that. Oh yeah, after window is hidden right there. Restores user interaction immediately after window is hidden. So yeah, pretty cool. And this tweak is a support framework used by tweak developers. The tweak by Brendan is called FPS Indicator. It's a in-game real-time FPS indicator, which is FPS stands for frames per second. So frames per second is pretty much like the higher it is, the better your kind of quality is going to be. So like the lagginess, when you're playing like a game and you're like lagging every second, you have very, very low frames per second. You need the higher frames per second. I think it's higher. Yeah, the higher frames per second. The less laggy your game is, and the higher the graphics, and the better the game looks overall. Pretty much, like the less it lags. Brendan, like I said, it's called ACC demo. It's kind of like Game Jam, and this is pretty much a tweak that allows you to control your speed. It does have another option, like 2 or 3 options. Like there's 3 different modes, I think, that allows you to change your speed. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It works with like majority of apps and games. I mean, it even works for server games, but since it's a server game, it like refreshes you back. It doesn't actually work for server games. It does work, but then the server refreshes you back. So it does work, but technically doesn't work because it refreshes you back because it's a server game. But yeah, majority of games and apps this does work on. There are 3 different modes of changing your game speed that you can try on, depending on like how they made the game. They have like different modes that support different like game types. So in other words, try it on mode 1, like you see right here. If it's still not working, try mode 2 or mode 3. That usually does make it work. But yeah, pretty cool. Alright, next week's called YTAB Goodies version 1.0.4. It enforces useful YouTube features that otherwise implements the YouTube experimental features. So yeah, pretty cool. Supports iOS 11 and up. UI support for incompatible SIMs. Support for all installed SIM cards on your device. So note that if a peer of your call haven't been set up TTY, that only hear random noise when you are entering any text. So if they are not in a country using a carrier that supports TTY and haven't installed this tweak, your call will be meaningless but fun to them. Pods Grant. And we have 2 more tweets after this one. So Pods Grant, as warned, as the tweak depends on address-based hooking, it would only work properly in system versions on the list below. So the only pop-up dialog will work for all iOS versions as possible. ARM64, iPhone X and before, iOS 14.8 only, ARM64E, iPhone headsets, XR, and after, all iOS 14 versions. So please Google if you don't know whether ARM64 or ARM64E device supports yours. For iOS 15 rootless versions, go to GitHub to see detail. So treat AirPods Pro 2nd generation as the first generation and get more features workable on iOS versions and compatible with it. So these are the working features you guys can read. And yeah, I just want to throw in, since we're talking about iOS versions in this tweak, I did want to throw in that very sad day, guys. iOS 17 will not be coming to iPhone X. So that's my device, and I'm a little sad about that. I'm still rocking iOS 13, but still, like, it's sad because I had the iPhone X since it came out. It's one of my favorite iPhones ever, probably my favorite iPhone ever. So they kind of killed it with iOS 17. Oh well. Files a file manager. It's a files a file manager for iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch. Supports iOS 7 and above. This is a must-have tweak for all Jailbreak users. Also, ACC demo, the tweak I showed before in this video, is also a must-have tweak. But yeah, this tweak's amazing, guys. I mean, you can pretty much go through your whole file system and do whatever you want. I mean, there's endless possibilities like theming. You can modify values. Get around your whole file system. I mean, there's ways if your device is what's it called? Where in settings, pretty much what am I thinking of? When your device is managed in settings, you guys can delete that by this week. This week's amazing. So I would definitely look up videos, and you could find a bunch of videos on what you can do using this tweak. Manager, another tweak by TG Software. TG Software made this week, and they made files a file manager. So this week's also one of my favorites, must-have tweak. It supports iOS 7 up to iOS 16.x. Apps Manager, flexible way to manage applications data. So you guys can read pretty much what it does. It backs up app data, restores app data, and yeah, wipes app data as well. So export backups. You can also back that stuff up. So what this tweak does is actually amazing. So I'm just gonna give you an example of what I use it for, and that's really it. So you can pretty much back up your data in an app or game, and then you can transfer or send that to another device. So I have two devices with the Jailbreak, and I had one device with pretty much all these coins or not coins, right? All these cards in this one game, and I couldn't get that game on another device, right? The game was completely removed from the App Store. I couldn't get it. If I could, I don't think I had Game Center or whatever, so I couldn't. There's no way I could even get that same progress. So I finally found it online. I downloaded an IP of it. All my cards were gone. I couldn't get them anymore. So what I did was I backed it up, and then I pretty much sent that file over to my other phone. I installed as IPA or whatever. I installed it, and then I exported that data into that game that I had, and that's it, done. So you don't even need the game. I could literally just export the data as an IPA, send it over, and I would have all my data. So it's amazing. I was able to literally have two exact copies from one phone to another. I mean, they both had to be jailbroken, but still, this tweak is amazing. It's one of my favorite tweaks, I would say. So the new version did have support for rootless and rootful and rootless jailbreaks. Never heard of rootful, but rootless jailbreaks. Supports iOS 7 up to 16.x, bug fixes, and minor updates. So $1.49, guys. Oh, definitely worth it. I do not regret spending that money. I even spent $5 for this week, $8. This week's amazing. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you next one. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace.